You know I can be found sitting home alone. You can come around.
Who doesn't love a bit of karaoke? I love a bit of karaoke. And this is almost a bit more than a little bit of karaoke, because this is the Ikarao. I should have checked that beforehand. I'm sure it's supposed to sound like karaoke, so it would be Ikarao. Okay, Ikarao Shell S1. I'm doing that again early in the video. I'm still trying to work out why I do that. Okay, they say Amazon's... Okay, I need to tell you straight off the bat. They sent this to me. I didn't pay for this, but I don't do promotional videos. Everything I do and say is my own opinion, for right or wrong, and I don't use anyone else's affiliate links or anything like that that may complicate the unbiasedness of my honesty on my channel. So this is the speaker. I tell it like it is. And you can already see this is not something they would have scripted for me as an intro. So they say Amazon's #1 selling brand. I don't know. But it probably is if they say it for, but they say for smart karaoke machine. This is their latest product, which is why they sent it to me. They've been emailing me for over a year, I think. And, you know, I don't do many videos, so I pick and choose what's interesting to me. But they've been so polite for over a year. I didn't even reply for over a year. That I just thought, I'm going to have to do this. So I don't know. They do 2 other speakers. This is the Shell S1. This is the smallest one, the most compact one, the cheapest one they do at this point. They do an X1 and an X2, which are quite a bit more pricey, up to more than double the price of this one. If I had replied earlier, I probably would have got one of the expensive ones. But I got this one, simply on the basis that they've been so polite and so nice, which is unlike a lot, and they make it, they know me. A lot of these companies, I know I'm doing a thing about this, if you don't know, if you come to the channel first time, this is what we do. We waffle a lot. I don't mean to do it, but I just can't seem to help it as I sit down. What was you saying now? Oh yeah, a lot of these companies, they tend to use boilerplate emails. Don't know your name, they don't know your person. They say, we watched you for so long and you're a lovely person and all that, and they clearly, it's the same, but they actually gave me details of my videos. They actually gave my name rather than the name of the channel. And they've been doing it for a year, and I thought, yes, I will do this karaoke machine, not least because I do like a bit of karaoke. Who doesn't love a bit of karaoke? And if you're one of those people who don't love a bit of karaoke, you'll probably like people who don't like pets. There's something not quite right there. So this is the smallest one. They say they're the best-selling brand, but probably for a lot of you regulars, although it's a lot of these videos, it's not regulars who actually watch you. Subscription number of subscribers doesn't match it on any channel. If you notice, almost every channel, subscriptions doesn't match the actual number of views. They say Ikarao. That's the brand. That's their new brand name for the main company, which is apparently Tade Enterprises, and I believe the full name of that company, and I may be wrong. You better check it, but I believe this is the actual company is Donguan Tayadi, I don't know, Intelligence Technology Company Limited. You think intelligence, well, it's got nothing to do with speakers, but if you look them up, it actually says they do Bluetooth speakers. I think that's the company. This is the brand name, Ikarao. Mind you, I know you just want to know about the speaker. I'm telling you, for most of you regulars that watch me, it's because they say they are manufacturers for the likes of JBL, Philips, Soundcore. They are the factory that produces those some of the better, cheaper brands that we know of. And this Ikarao is simply their brand name for their own in-house karaoke machines. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's part of the agreement when they do speakers for other big companies that they can't directly compete with them. Maybe that's why they're into karaoke, or maybe the markup in karaoke is absolutely huge. You can see this isn't scripted because you wouldn't say that in a scripted video. How much? Right, so how much is this speaker gonna be? There's various prices, but I've been insured. The actual price you'll end up paying is $280. But it will probably say $350, and there'll always be a $70 coupon. So the street price basically should be $280. Why am I telling you in dollars? Because it's only going to come out in America first, and then depending, I suppose, on how well it goes, blah, 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 they'll roll it out in the rest of the world. So it's the Shell S1. Why is it called the Shell S1? I've got no idea. Yet another thing I could have asked them. They've been quite responsive. But I don't know. Shell karaoke, what's the connect? S1, I don't know. They're X. The other ones are the X's. This is the S. Hang on a second. Could there be another one coming out with an E, and then suddenly we're spelling something out? That just hit me. I don't know. Get on with the video. I will. They will tell you 280 watts. If they tell you 280 watts, to say watts or watts? Watts. That's the peak. You should know. The actual specs are 55 watts. RMS is good. We know that's true. 99.999% of the time when these companies, especially in the Bluetooth world, give you specs for watts, it's meaningless. It's meaningless to a certain degree, but if they say 1,000,000 watts, it's probably going to go loud, ain't it? So we've got two 15-watt woofers and two 10-watt tweeters. As far as I know, there's no passive radiator or port. So, you've already noticed it's got a screen. I will already tell you, it's a bit of a fingerprint magnet. It is a touch screen, but unlike the other versions they do, it's not articulated. So if you try and turn it that way, you will break it. So it's that way. But there is a saving feature. What's that feature, Al? Well, you can plug it into any other monitor via its HDMI. While I'm showing you my backside, I'm going to quickly just tell you what we got. We got USB-A, HDMI, two USB-Cs, one of which is for charging. Oh, yeah, we like that, don't we? And we also got another one for on-the-go playback. And you can obviously play off a dongle. You can play off your own device on the go. It supports 3.5mm your own mic. And it's got another auxiliary in there, so two auxiliary in. But of course, it comes with its own mics. They're quite lightweight, but they do work. We'll get onto that in a minute. Just know they charge on the device, on the unit itself. Quite lightweight, and I found it's a review. So I'm going to give you details. Problem with the mics is, look where the controls are. They're exactly where your hand is going to be. No matter how you hold it, I find I'm always hitting something that I didn't want to hit. It's not a massive deal because the volume up and volume down will be in small increments and you probably won't even notice. We do have a little play pause button, which is very handy in the middle. And of course you're on off. But yeah, I always with this and hitting the controls. And when you put it back, it was on. It starts charging. So that's really nice. It's hidden inside the speaker itself, and they will charge immediately. You put them back. I'm going to turn that off. Well, it is turned off. It turned itself off. So you can use your own mic, or you can use those two mics. They are quite lightweight, but it works reasonably well. Obviously, you're going to be interested because it's got the integrated screen. When you're in what they call local playback mode, because you can go Bluetooth, auxiliary in, local playback is what they call use of the screen, they'll call it a tablet, of the screen itself. That's the only place you're going to get lights. And by the way, that's your volume up and down. I would have expected, well, it actually does. So if I don't know if you can see closely there, as I go up in volume, if you look closely, instead of actually telling me the volume it's on, in the middle where the volume is, showing me colours, that's maximum. And then I'm coming back down. If it just comes straight up, would have been nice with the actual volume, because you're going to have to look a bit closely for that. It is a touchscreen. I said it's a fingerprint magnet, and it's also very good for doing your makeup because it's very, very glossy. I don't know why it's quite that glossy, but it's not really something, because you're going to get a lot of reflections. That's an issue with that. Just saying, yeah, it's a review. It's an honest review, and so I'm saying it's very, very glossy. However, stick with me. She said, I didn't even know I was going to do that in this video. Stick with me. It is a lot of fun, considering the money, but like everything in life, the trade-offs. We've got the screen. What's it running now? Running Android version 13, Android 14, I think, is the latest one. I said it's got HDMI on the unit itself, and so you can hook it up to another monitor, which overcomes the problem of having that not articulated. And it supports HDMI 1.4 and HDMI 2. This is a 10.1-inch IPS screen, but the resolution is pretty low. It's 1280 by 800. So that's not high resolution. The tablet itself runs a quad-core Cortex A35 at 1.35 gigahertz. Got 2 gigs of RAM. Note the speaker itself supports power delivery and Qualcomm fast charge up to 65 watts, which is great. And they say at 50% volume with the screen on, you get 9 hours playtime, which is very, very good. But there's a reason why they're getting a bit more playtime, and we'll get onto that again soon if you stick with me. Just want to demonstrate that it does indeed hook up to a separate monitor, fuss-free style. If I just plug my little monitor into the HDMI, grab my monitor and power that up. That should just turn on fuss-free. So it is a fuss-free connection to any monitor, and obviously you could have that on your 55-inch, your 72-inch TV or whatever, and everybody's happy. And you can see the difference. I don't know if it comes over. That's quite matte. They're getting very little reflection, and that are getting huge amounts of reflection. Very, very glossy. Right, I've showed you that. I'm going to unplug that for a second. So we will show you now. Note. These are not apps, so everything that you see on screen is actually a browser shortcut. I think they said they have plans down the line to have actual apps, but these are browser shortcuts. Part of that, I'm told, is obviously this is built to a cost to give you as much as you can for as little as they can, and there's going to be trade-offs. Just note, you're not going to be installing all your Play Store apps. These are browser shortcuts. It is a little bit laggy, I found in use, but it's still a lot of fun. So if I hit YouTube, it's gonna open up in Firefox. It's really just a browser shortcut. I'm gonna go to YouTube. It's been like a little bit laggy for me in use. Is that my internet? My internet is not the fastest ever, but you can see it takes a while to load and then to go back. Now, there is a shortcut that's hard to see, but right on the side to bring up some more controls. No, that wasn't what I wanted. Right there. Nope. No. So I mentioned that I can't, without going back, can't get back to the on-screen controls. They're saying this little, I don't know if you can see, the sidebar there should give me the controls, but it doesn't come up for me. So even if it does, that's proving to be fiddly. They sent me screen grabs showing clicking that to get back, but I'm just showing Ikarao if you're there. That's not working for me. I can't get back to the on-screen controls. So I can still do my volume from there, but there are lots of other options I would have liked to have brought up. So that's what you'll get right off the bat, but you'll have to, if you want to use them properly, first of all, you'll have to sign into each of these, and I think some of these you have to subscribe to get or pay to get the full experience, the full-length songs. However, I've just been using YouTube. That's been working fine. But if you want to get rid of ads on that, of course, you've got to have a subscription for that. Can, of course, use it in Bluetooth mode and use your own portables, your own device as well. Then what they call music mode, again, it's going to be your shortcut links. They told me I need to blur out part of this. I don't even know if I'm supposed to tell you. I might have to check, but that's shortcut, but we're not allowed to show it on screen, but they're shortcuts. They're browser shortcuts. They're not apps. And then we've got more, some little in-house apps there, but nothing that's that exciting. Then your main controls are down the bottom. Got auxiliary, the Bluetooth, the Wi-Fi. You might see in the headlines, supports Wi-Fi. It's not Wi-Fi audio, guys. It's Wi-Fi, connects it to the internet. It does also apparently support Wi-Fi display mirroring, but I've not got that to work. So I'm not sure what I would need to get that working. But just know Wi-Fi is really for your internet. It's not, you can't do audio from your device over Wi-Fi to the speaker. You can control your lights here. You can I'm saying close. You see little bits of lag every so often, which is kind of annoying. So no reason. What if I hit down there? Yeah. So it says close, but it doesn't close. I'm not making this up. It's not closing, but I can close it by hitting down there again. Got volume control there, and you've got volume control here. Music. So by default, what they call hi-fi. I might as well show you right now. I hadn't planned it, and I've got that on the desk anyway. Just my measurements for. They've got. There's no app, by the way, so it's all via the screen. We've got hi-fi mode, light mode. That's a strange name because you might think that's something to do with the lights, but it appears it's just a lighter type of sound. And then they've got their outdoor mode. Well, so what do those modes do? First thing I would say, so obviously hi-fi is their default. It's going to be their most balanced mode. It's a bit V-shaped, not mega V-shaped. It's got a bit of, we've got some upper bass, a little bit of upper bass slam, and a little bit of treble, but not upper treble. So we've got big roll-off. So I was talking about how you get more battery life. So you'll notice there's not a lot of deep bass. 100 hertz, it's rolling off. I mean, it does extend a bit down to around the 55 hertz, but it's rolled off. That saves on battery, of course. So basically, it's a karaoke speaker, and it's within the vocal range, isn't it, really? So it's 100 hertz really to about 6 kilohertz. Cover your vocal range. There is a bit more extended ends, but it's rolled off. So a little bit V-shaped, but reasonably balanced for a karaoke machine. That may even be too balanced. If you go to outdoor mode, well, that's where you get your big old upper bass thump. You get a bit more push in the highs, and it's a bit more V-shaped overall. And then you've also got your, oh, by the way, outdoor. I'm always saying this about these annoying outdoor modes, or any mode where it just goes louder anyway. If I look at my notes, what did I say? Outdoor mode, add some upper bass, upper mids, but also simply goes louder anyways by around 2 decibels, depending on where you are on the volume scale. I don't know why we keep doing that. To me, why? Just obviously gonna make you think it's more dynamic in its tuning than it is, simply because it's gone louder. There are differences, but just note, goes a bit louder. And indeed, light mode itself goes about 1 dB louder. Again, it's fooling the ears a little bit, and that's the difference. The light mode, why it's not about the actual lights, but it's about a lighter kind of sound, because it cuts some of the bass, some of the deeper bass, but it adds a bit more in the high end, and it also goes a little louder anyway. But the hi-fi mode is the reasonably balanced mode. I know it's a karaoke speaker, but just out of interest, I will compare it to my pound for pound still value world champion. Who is it, Al? I'm going to show you. It's the Tribute Stormbox Blast 2. This is not a speaker you're buying. The Ikarao, not buying that for, its audio prowess, but just to give you some idea of where we are in terms of sound. I'm going to give a quick listen to, in Bluetooth mode, the Ikarao Shell S1 versus the Tribute Stormbox Blast 2. Not 2, 2. I would say in hi-fi mode, that's quite listenable. Even as a standalone speaker, I think it's quite, obviously it hasn't got the deep bass and it hasn't got the extended highs, but it's quite a reasonable listen. I wouldn't be thinking, oh, that's horrendous, I can't listen to that. It would do a job if it's your only speaker. You bought it as a karaoke speaker, but you'd like to listen to some tracks anyway. It can do a job. And by the way, it goes quite loud. It goes as loud as that one does with my, in X-Bass mode, isn't it? And they're both around about 106, 107 decibels with my test track, my Onlap Rock Ain't Dead track. Remember, different tracks will be louder or quieter. I use that because it's relative to all the tracks I test. And 106, it's quite loud, albeit without, too much bass. So, we talk about the sound modes. Is that one closed? No, so I'll hit the music off. Then we've got lots of options for the mics. Very lightweight, but actually, it does a reasonable job. So in terms of microphone, all these different things, original, karaoke, popular, super, it's changing the amount of reverb you get. I left it on popular. I thought that was, for me, about the best. Obviously, the worse you sing, the more reverb you want. And indeed, you can set a custom level. You've got good control over the reverb, the treble, and the bass. So that's a reasonably priced, compact karaoke machine. You've got lots of the options that you will want. Settings, telling you about the device itself. Display, can adjust the brightness. Looks like you can adjust the timeout for it as well. And then for sound, you can adjust the mics. Obviously, if they were on, we'd be able to adjust the volume there. Then Wi-Fi options, the service mode. You can send off your questions via here, I think. Yeah. If you have any suggestions of this product, kindly leave your precious advice here. You can do that straight off the bat there. See? I did close that time. What else have I forgotten? Anything? No, that pretty much wraps it up. On the front, we've got control for the bass. I've been using it only with bass on. Change your input and your Bluetooth pairing button. So that is pretty much the speaker. What's it like in the real world? I said there's a bit laggy. I'm quite shy. I'm known as being quite shy. I'm not going to do any singing. But I went on, this is weird. Stick with me, this is really weird. I went on YouTube. I was looking, I looked up Elvis Presley Shell S1. Do you know what? Apparently, they found some long lost home videos of Elvis the Pelvis. He had an Ikarao Shell S1. Have a listen.
You know I can be found sitting home alone. You can come around, at least please telephone. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Baby, I'll make you mad, so that I'm about to say, please don't forget my past. My future looks bright ahead. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love, baby, it's just you I'm thinking of. Don't stop for thinking of me, don't make me feel this way. Come on over here and love me, you know I wanna say, don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Why should we be apart? I really love you, baby, close my heart. Let's walk up to the preacher, let us say I do. Then you know you'll have me, and I know that I'll have you. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love, baby, it is you I'm thinking of. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love, baby, it is you I'm thinking of.
If it's good enough for Elvis, it's good enough for Alan Ross Reviews. Listen, it's a bit, sometimes it's a bit fiddly, sometimes it's a bit laggy, but street price, $280. It's not a million miles off of some of these $200 Bluetooth speakers anyway. To me, that's reasonable value. I don't know in the long term how much some of the, first of all, obviously you're going to have to get subscriptions for some of these services, unless you're doing it just by your phone anyway. I hadn't signed in. Obviously, you'll want to sign in so you don't get all the adverts and stuff if you've got a subscription anyway for the likes of YouTube. But there's options there. $280. I had some fun with it. I would have to say I think that's good value for money. I'm not getting anything back on this by saying that. I'm not even using the affiliate links that I was offered. I don't do that. I'm going to remain unbiased. And that means I remain very, very poor. But that bit was I'm poor in other ways. But that's another thing. Anything else? Again, I'm sitting here thinking, what should we do? I did write a conclusion. So I said, okay, it's not the lightest speaker here. It's actually, well, in the world, I mean, it's actually weighs 5.4 kilos. That's hefty, 5.5 kilos. So for a hefty 5 kilo speaker, I was expecting a bit more deep bass. That's not there, and there may be reasons why they don't have much deep bass on this, but there's enough upper bass that you're not really going to miss it unless you're doing an A/B and you're not buying it for its audio prowess, as I said before. Yeah, one of my problems is when they do this thing and they just go louder, going a couple of decibels louder just because you've hit switched outdoor. I don't like that because you don't really hear the differences in the EQ. I said it's a fingerprint magnet, which it is. You'll just end up with fingerprints everywhere, and it's very, very glossy. You know, you can use this as a mirror. So outdoors, I haven't tried it outdoors. If you're in a sunny environment, that may be an issue. You know, browser shortcuts versus apps. They say there's apps planned, and doing it that way is part of trying to get it down to a cost. In terms of other specs you may want to know, it's got a 71 1-hour battery. That compares pretty well. The Blast was the Blast was 71.3. This is 71. So basically the same size battery. That's got more deep bass. You may get more. Well, according to their 9 hours, you would get more battery life out of it. They both only do SBC codecs, which you wouldn't expect. But this is now Bluetooth 5.4. You can charge via USB-C, which is very, very handy. It does do power bank functionality, but it's 1 amp, 5 volts, 1 amp. So I've got that down. That's what I believe their specs were. So when they talk about power delivery, obviously that's on the input to charge up to 65 watts. But you'll only get, if my reading of the specs are right, that's 5 watts of output. So not much use as a power bank. Can't use it to make phone calls. There's no IP rating or dustproofness. The 90mm woofers, 25mm tweeters. In terms of lag, in terms of on Bluetooth lip sync, and that's going to be important, I suppose. Well, is it? Not really for a karaoke speaker. Anyway, I'm only saying because I had to recheck this. I got no lag on auxiliary as you expect. I was getting 16 milliseconds, which is like the lowest I've ever had. Lower than you'd expect. Not talking about Bluetooth latency. This is lip sync latency, if you like. It's a test of lip sync while I'm streaming YouTube. 16 milliseconds. You know, you're not going to see anything there in terms of lip sync issues. And I rechecked it. I was amazed, actually. There's no app, so there's no EQ. But that's a wrap, isn't it? That's a karaoke speaker. You did hotels, you did power banks, and now it's a karaoke. We're getting back to Bluetooth speakers. Hopefully. Look, I've just got too little time and too many options. And I'm just a bit bored with Bluetooth speakers. I do have the Sony that you asked me for. What's that? Is it the UTL10 or something? Or the one? I can't even remember what that was. Bought a while ago, which seems all right. Will we get onto that? Maybe we'll get onto that. The Minirig Mark IVs we can get onto. There's lots of things I can get onto, but I just get bored. This was something different. I would look for something different, but I haven't moved on from Bluetooth speakers. You just waffle. Absolutely, 100% that's what I do. So, they did send it for free, but I'm making sure there was no monetary incentives or any incentives at all for what I say. I don't tell them up front what I'm going to say. I don't use any scripts, and nobody gets to see this in advance of it going out. That's what I do, for better or for worse, for richer, no, for better or for worse, and for poorer and for poorer. Because if you're honest on YouTube, you will not make money. Not in the audio world. That is for sure. Oh, he's had another moan, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely. That's what I do. That's what I do. It's therapy. To verbalise anything is therapy. So if I moan and tell you about it, thankfully not many people will know about it. I feel better for it. So thank you for watching. I hope you watch again. I've got no idea what the next video will be or when the next video will be. And do you know what? I'm quite excited by my new method. Don't think about it beforehand and then just suddenly do it. Go! I'm going to do it now and did it now. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again. Please.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. Thank you.
What the was that?
It comes from China.
My speaker's got deep bass, balanced mids, and a bright high.
Yes, mine sounds exactly the same.